and welcome to episode 112 of Formidable Opponents, a show that pits three people who have known each other virtually their entire lives in a series of conversations as we argue what is best in a variety of fun, engaging, and critical pop culture topics we all debate about. I'm Randall, and with me as always, Bob and Joseph, and this week's topic is best breakfast cereal. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and we're asking the question, what's in the box? Now, let me tell you, breakfast cereals are not just a snack. They are a lifestyle. It's a bowl full of crispy dreams and milk-filled adventures. I promise I didn't read that description off a Betamax cassette from my father's old sock drawer.
Gross.
These wise grains guide us through the perils of morning and whisk us away to a better place as we push our carts down the cereal aisle with the cacophony of ahas take on me playing over the grocery store speaker system. Only nowadays, we're just passing by to go get our Pepsid and our one-a-day mints. However, cereal brands are a lifelong companion. We enjoy them as we live to remember and we live to forget. Yes, they are the Hotel California of foods. With so many options, so many mascots, so many flavors, cereal has been forever with us, always ready, never judging us. But amidst all the memories and cereal-induced euphoria, let's take a moment to reflect on the profound life lessons hidden within those sweet, crunchy nuggets of elation. Because breakfast cereals aren't just about starting your day off right. They are about embracing the absurdity of life, one heaping spoonful at a time. This week, Formidable Opponents debates and discusses best breakfast cereal. As always, I'm joined by two guys who have had the roofs of their mouths destroyed by Captain Crunch. Bob and Joseph, how are you guys doing?
With berries, by the way, with berries.
It's the only way to go.
Hey.
We are back. We're back, folks. We are back.
So we took a little time off. We've been off for a couple of weeks. Bob and Joseph went on a little Vegas adventure. Could you tell us a little bit about that, guys? How'd you guys do in Vegas?
Sure. First off, we took a lot of time off because one weekend Randall had to watch the Oscars. Let's just throw that in. He couldn't live without the Oscars. The following week, we were in Vegas. Okay, so, just put the cool factor. I want you all to throw us in. Vegas was pretty epic. It started off with a kind of a migraine. I got a migraine or a pressure headache on the plane, and by the time we got in and landed, took some medicine, took a hot shower, lied down for an hour, and then I got up and it was go time. But we had a blast. Spent a lot of money. Won some money. Came back with a little money too. Had a blast. Joseph, anything cool? Oh, the Nun. Yeah, the Nun was kind of creepy.
That was interesting, that place that we went to. What was the name of it again?
Super Frico. There's a place called Super Frico inside the Cosmo. Cool restaurant, Italian restaurant and bar. They have like performers performing while you're eating.
Yeah, like every 30 minutes or so something happens. It's
yeah. Like every 20, 30 minutes a new performer comes out. So we're having a good time. And of course, like Joseph and one of our other buddies, Daniel, and Creative Little Pill was there with us too, D. And everybody's having a good time. And all of a sudden, like we're sitting at a round table and everybody goes quiet and starts looking down. And I'm like, what's going on? And like, I happen to turn around and there's this nun staring at me in the face, and I'm like, "Oh shit, here we go!" And she hands me a Pringle, as kind of like the bread, the body of Christ, whatever. And a Pringle, and then she tries to offer me wine, and like I was like, "Okay," and then she chugs it down, and she had the serious look. She was a performer. She did really good at creeping everybody the fuck out, and she was like walking around all the tables and doing that with like the wine, the Pringle, and like opening up. It was kind of creepy and kind of cool, but I was like, what the fuck? Why didn't you all warn me, Joseph?
Sounds like girlfriend material for you, Joseph. How was your time over there?
It was good, man. I had found my spot, which was just basically video blackjack. Yeah. And I would sit there for a couple of hours, I think at the most. And before I'd say, okay, I need to get up and walk around because I'm just sitting here drinking beer, having my fun. I thought that place was really cool. I liked the setup of it for this particular moment because we were just like they were playing some interesting music that wasn't bad. It just really wasn't in the beginning. It wasn't anything that we knew. And then they started playing who sings Your Own
Reach
Personal
Out
Jesus?
And Touch Faith.
Your Own Personal Jesus.
Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode. So Depeche Mode it kicks on Your Own Personal Jesus, and the lights turn kind of purple, which we learned was the signal for something's going to happen. And we were just like, so the song kicks on and we're like, oh, cool. Finally. Yeah. Jam. And then we just see the nun start walking out. We're like, oh shit, something's happening.
Let me say that you all saw the nun. I had my back to her. You all could have warned me. I would have looked down at my hands too, or my phone.
You know, what was funny is that you guys were checking in to every spot you guys went to, and all those places like responded to us on Instagram. They're like, "Hey, thanks for visiting."
Yes, they did.
And the thing is, like, I was the one probably catching all the responses. I'm like, I was at the Alamo for the 18th time, and you guys, I don't know if you guys got a chance to like respond to these people, and you know,
I think we did one.
Yeah.
We
spent the afternoon on one of the days in the art, what's it called, the art district, Bob?
Yeah, the art district there in Vegas. Cool area. We weren't just on the strip, folks. We went to the art district. A lot of breweries, a lot of cool antique shops, shit like that.
This real one in particular, I know they are listening now that they know that we were there.
Able Brewing.
Able
Baker.
Yeah.
Able Baker Brewing. Awesome beer, awesome atmosphere, good food.
Really cool place. Female owned and operated. These women are doing tremendous shit. It was an awesome place. Great fucking beer. There was like 20 beers on tap. It was it reminded us.
We tried all 20. No, I'm just kidding.
It reminded us of being, you know, back here in Texas and going to the you know, many breweries that the state has. Really awesome place. So shout out to Able Baker. If you're in the Vegas area, highly recommend that place.
Yeah, great place, great food, great atmosphere, great everything.
Yes, let's tag them on this episode. Give them a shout out. Yes, for sure. I will say this, guys, talking about cereal, I've never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I'd be 40-something years old talking about cereal and having people tune in to listen to it.
Yes.
Somewhere in Eastern Europe, a faithful listener is saying, "This is bullshit. I gave them a second chance after Nickelback episode, but they've crossed the line." So,
well, let's be honest.
They're from Russia? Where the fuck are they from?
We were supposed to. This was supposed to be like, let's come back because we're busy. It's supposed to be
Vegas. We're going to be hungover, tired.
I wouldn't call it a bullshit episode, but you know,
it's a fun episode.
Easy, fun episode. But it feel like this is going to be a lot more than what.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying too. This is probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. And what, you know what I mean? Trying to pick, you would think like, oh, that's fucking easy, and you're like, geez, but there's this one, and do I want to pick the fun cereal or the one I really like, the fucking boring one, or so y'all will see.
Because good girls are fun girls.
Because good girls.
I have to share this with you guys. I have a friend who was in my doctoral cohort, and she's doing seminars across the country on human rights. I'm talking about Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. We have the same degree, guys. And
we have a story about that too.
So let's go over some quick facts about cereal, guys, before we get into our selections. Some cool history about the quintessential American breakfast food. Breakfast cereals first gained popularity in 1863. By the way, our next episode will be best song of 1863. Anyway, them bones. Yes. When James Caleb Jackson, a nutritionist and revered health reformer, released a dry whole grain cereal called granola. Sounds tempting, right? And unlike most modern day cereals, granola was devoid of sugar and instead made from just graham flour and bran. Because it was both hard and dry, granola had to be soaked in milk for 20 minutes before it could be eaten. Guys, could you imagine eating something called granola?
I'm pretty sure there's something similar to it today.
Yeah, a few letter changes, right? The word cereal. The word cereal comes from the Roman goddess of harvest and agriculture, Ceres. The U.S. likes its cereal, ladies and gentlemen. We rank number 4 in the world cereal consumption, leading
Who's
the top.
Number 1?
United Kingdom is number 1, Canada is number 2, and Australia is number 3. Canada strikes me as a honey smacks country. I don't know about you guys.
I was gonna say yeah, that's kind of weird. Do you think pancakes?
Corn puffs, eh?
It's estimated that an average American eats approximately 160 bowls of cereal each year.
Cereals? No, you had it right.
Yeah, that was my valley coming out. We add an S to everything, right? They've underestimated us. That sounds kind of low. During the pandemic, as more people stayed home and reduced on-the-go and fast food breakfast, cereal consumption grew significantly. Sales were up 12% from the prior year. So cereals is cereal. There I go again.
Cereals. you want milk with your cereals?
Mom, I want cereals. Okay, so let's just go to the opening questions before my accent pops up again. Guys, why is cereal such an important food?
Porque it's the first thing you eat in the morning.
That's a great response, man.
It's an important food because it's very versatile, and one, its main focus is to give you some, if you're hungry, and not everybody eats breakfast. I understand this. Some people don't choose cereal, but if you're looking for something, especially the kids, something to get into, their stomachs for the morning until later in the afternoon when they're eating their lunch, or when you're taking lunch as an adult from work or whatever, it's not gonna fill you up unless you go psycho and make some big ass tortilla.
If you're using a punch bowl spoon,
you got problems right there from the beginning. But no, I mean it's important because it's like I said, it's an easy way to get something into your system, into your stomach, because we sleep all night. You wake up, you're hungry, but you got things to do, so you can't be too full. This is one of the best things you can do. I know there's people out there who say, well, you can eat some fruit. Well, yeah, sure. Go eat some fruit.
Shut up your ass. I was eating fruit for breakfast. I do. I like the word you use versatile.
Berries
That's
and
what
yogurt.
It is. Yeah, I like berries and yogurt, just not for fucking breakfast, okay? It's versatile, dude, because you can have it for breakfast. You can have it with regular milk, with almond milk, with soy milk if your little stomach can't handle all that spicy milk. You can have it dry. You can eat it on the road. You can have it in a bag. You can have it after a night of drinking. You can eat it for dinner. You can have it as a snack. Like it just works all the way. And if you need a sugar high, I mean, it definitely has that shit for you. So I think it's very versatile. I love that it can be used in many different ways, so many different flavors. It can be a dessert, it can be a lunch, it can be a breakfast, it can be a snack. All depends on how you like your cereal, man.
Bob's tribute to Dr. Seuss. You can eat it on a boat, you can eat it with a goat. So
yeah.
Why is cereal
I thought about the rub lamp. You can rub it on a lamp. You can rub it on a
when you said rub lamp, I was thinking something totally different, bro.
Rub light. What was it called?
Oh, no, it's anymore. Flesh.
So easy, so convenient, and so cheap, right? Cereal is not just a breakfast
about the rub
food.
light?
Yeah, both. Cereal is not just a breakfast food. I know we are saying breakfast cereal, but it is essentially a food for throughout the day, right? Cereals. Yes. The nostalgia we used to buy cereal based on hugely successful marketing campaigns. I brought honeycombs because Andre the Giant was in a commercial. Come to later find out that Andre was more into liters of vodka, not honeycombs. Anyway, we had no internet phones. We read the back of the box, and now my kids eat their cereal dry. During rare times they do eat cereal. We used to be a proper civilization, but cereal was everything when we were kids, right, guys? I've read about cereal restaurants. Would this business idea work in our hometown?
We have
They're like, what kind of milk do you want? Horchata or
probably
no.
Right? No, they probably would.
I think it would be. I think if you made it a cereal restaurant where you do like cereal desserts, cereal bars, maybe ice cream with cereal toppings, I think that could work.
Yeah,
man.
we have a ton of places like that here where it's like the waffle place where they serve you waffles and put ice cream on it, or all kinds of shit, or even waffles and cereal.
Where's this?
That's
that.
There's a bunch of.
Don't
places
say the name; they're not paying us.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna say that but
they didn't get a free waffle.
But when they open up, I know that they open up, and everybody rushes to them because it's like, hey, if you got a hook, you tell them what the product is, which would just be like a breakfast, a cereal restaurant, cereal bar, whatever you want to call it. Where you're not just doing cereal, you're doing like Bob, I think, or whoever mentioned it, ice cream, milk, or different kinds of milk, or chata even. I think that would be successful here, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Put some water in it.
People will go if you package it nicely. You try to you get your social media presence going, especially here. I think it would. I don't know how long it will last, but it would definitely work for a good year or so.
You think so, Bob?
Put it next to a coffee shop.
So
I think
too.
it works.
Yeah, put it next to a coffee shop. Make sure that there's ice cream. Make it a dessert place, dude. Something different, something weird. People love weird and different.
Yeah, because people will go for lunch.
I don't know if anybody's gonna go over there to eat a bowl of cereal, like just a regular bowl of cereal. But if you make it unique and you make it a dessert, I mean, which it already is, a topping, something, I think that could work.
I think if it's just strictly cereal, from what I'm talking about the region we're from, it would go out of business in 3 weeks.
Well, it depends. Are the Winter Texans here? Because the Winter Texans are here, and you're serving some fucking shredded wheat. I don't know. We might have something.
They will eat it up. That's right. Yeah, it'll do great in the wintertime. I mean, we grew up in the most obese region of the United States, the Rio Grande Valley. Shout out to our hometown. Healthcare is a booming industry there because you can't drive a mile without hitting a taqueria. I'm not saying all breakfast cereal is healthy, but the alternative of eating a bowl full of sweet flakes compared to eating a taco the size of your forearm, I mean, you make the selection. A little bit of milk to supplement that brick of cheese you place on your eggs, maybe not a bad idea. So I think if it's just cereal, it won't make it. You add some dessert toppings, yeah, sure, we could start talking. So yeah, I think you guys are right. So who is the best breakfast cereal mascot?
You want to start this, Joseph? You want to fight over this?
You could start. Let me. Who do you got? You got somebody? I have to think about it.
It's obviously Tony the motherfucking Tiger, Joseph. It's obviously Tony the fucking Tiger. Classic. What's the line?
They're great.
Ah, thank you. See, that you didn't even think about it. He even got excited when he said it, folks. He jumped out of his seat.
They're not that great. It's good.
the tiger
They're
is cool.
good.
They're okay. They're filled with sugar.
They're good for every once in a while. Is he a cool mascot? Yes. Do they use him in commercials properly? Like, yes, I think their campaign to get kids to eat, but even then, Frosted Flakes are delicious. Cereal. They're delicious. Yes, they're cereal with sugar. I guess what has been the campaign of Tony the Tiger recently? Like, get kids to eat breakfast. Like,
well, he died, so
Did he die?
The voice actor did.
Oh, okay.
I have to go with Tony the Tiger too. He has a catchphrase. He can dunk. He's got a bandana, and he has the coolest voice. Let's get a 70-year-old chain smoker who drinks more scotch than he does water to voice our kid cereal mascot.
He plays to everyone: the dad, the mom, the uncle, the cousin, the grandpa, like everybody. Let's look at the alternatives. It's not that weird fucking bee from Gold. What's it? Honeycomb.
Yes,
that one's weird as fuck.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Cocoa Pebbles. All they did was rip off the Flintstones. Let's see.
It's Lucky. It's Lucky.
We do have
Lucky the Charms.
Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious. Okay, maybe Tricks. Somebody give that poor bastard some cereal. Jesus,
they're always out there to be Lucky Charms.
I think the worst is Sonny the Cuckoo Bird. I mean, strung out, anxious, loud. This is not a mascot. It's a drug addict, you know? I think he's the worst. And
what's the name of the rabbit? Tricks.
I think his name is Tricks. I can't. I don't know.
Tricks kiddo.
I think he's just the rabbit. What is the all-time worst breakfast cereal you've ever had?
All Bran. It was like eating twigs from the fucking, from the branch. Like they just ripped off branches from the tree outside and put them in a bowl with cold milk. All Bran. Terrible.
I can't remember the name, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but I once had a cereal that was like cardboard. It was basically cardboard and milk. I wish I could remember the name. I'm sorry I can't. But if our listeners, if you know what I'm talking about, please let me know, because it's basically just cardboard and milk.
They're probably called cardboardies or something. So I think the worst breakfast cereal, I'm going to have to go with, I'll give Mini Wheats a pass, but Crave. Have you all ever had Crave before?
No.
Chocolate for breakfast. Yeah, no, it's not even chocolate. Had it,
but I think I remember.
It's like chocolate, like frosting on cereal or something like that.
Yes, it's not even chocolate coated. The entire center is full of chocolate and coated with cookie dough. Just in case you were trying to escape the diabetes with some sort of healthy grain. No, cookie dough on chocolate. So let's really fuck them up. Cookies and chocolate for breakfast. It's terrible. I've had it.
Even Cookie Crisp is like, hey, bro, y'all have a fucking problem, man. You know what? I'll tell you what. There are some cereals that they're like, they started doing this new Crave. It's like Kellogg's with strawberries, and they put like these dried out strawberries in there, but they're like dried. They're not good, dude. Like overly sweet and overly like the texture's weird as fuck. Like that's not, how many preservatives are in that fucking thing?
Not healthy at all. Let's conclude with this. Why do stores feel the need to make a box of Cheerios the size of a gym locker? Let me ask you guys this. Who is eating an entire box of these within an 18-month span? Cheerios is the most profitable cereal, ranking in 435.9 million in annual sales. How are they selling multiples of these coffin-sized boxes? These are the boxes you put on top of the fridge because they don't fit anywhere else. What do you guys think about that?
That one's easy. Children, like babies, like I see, like it's usually one of the first cereals that 1-year-olds eat or whatever, young babies eat, toddlers eat. They eat Cheerios, and you get a shitload of them because you never want to run out, because then the child throws a fit and is crying everywhere, and you want to make sure you have those. And those things never go stale. They will last a year in that fucking box.
I have a funny story about Cheerios. When my son was being potty trained, it was a little difficult. So we used to put Cheerios in the toilet and play a game. Like, if you could hit these Cheerios, you'll get like a toy or something. So he used to try like battleships, try to piss on his Cheerios. Which
your wife was like, you should try it too.
I sunk him. So try that. For those of you
Cheerios.
Parents, it works. Kids have fun. They love peeing on Cheerios. Anyway, so we're going to go to our honorable mentions. Joseph, what do you got for us?
Cheerios. All right. I got Fruit Loops. one of my favorites back in the day. So I still think really good. Lucky Charms, of course, can't not mention. It's a standard and one of the most well known.
What's your favorite marshmallow in that cereal, Joseph?
Good question.
The pot of gold.
Fucking wimp. Pot of gold. They put pot of gold in there.
The marshmallow.
Yeah, there's a pot of gold marshmallow.
Purple diamonds, green clovers.
We shopped at the Dollar General. We didn't have that shit. We had the fake. We had like Yucky Charms.
We'll get to that later. We'll get to the off-brand stuff.
Like the green leaf, the brown branch, the red orange.
Why is the balloon deflated?
What else you got for us, Joseph?
I got frosted mini wheats as well. I like
love that one.
Yeah, love it. Simple. I even like the other flavors that they do, strawberry frosted mini wheats, things like that. Apple Jacks I think are highly underrated. I always thought those tasted really, really good. Crunch berries, Cap'n Crunch is great, but Crunch berries, Cap'n Crunch is better. And Trix. I always thought Trix were good too.
I like it, Joseph. Good call.
Got
Oh man, I'll start off with Corn Pops because I think that's a very underrated cereal. Love Corn Pops. I have Apple Jacks as well, Joseph. Golden Grams. Not everybody's a fan of Golden Grams, but this motherfucker right here is a big fan of Golden Grams. I love that's the thing about it. Like me, when I choose cereal, like I have to be able to eat it dry as well as with milk. Yeah. I don't really drink a lot of milk these days, man. I mean, because I'm fucking 40. I'm not, 15.
I remember you being a Honey Smacks guy.
Yo, my mom would buy Smacks, man. That's the only thing we had in the fucking house. I didn't have a job when I was 13. I had to fucking eat Smacks. Golden Grams. I have Captain Crunch with berries. Yeah, you have to add it with the berries. That it's a whole game changer thing. I do have Lucky Charms, and I'm gonna throw it in there. And this is I'm an old this is an old man cereal. But I don't give a shit. Raisin Bran is really, really good. Raisin Bran is the shit. I love raisins and bran. Apparently, you got to stay regular. Okay, what do you got, Ryan?
By the way, real quick, I have both of your selections on my honorable as well. But
thank you. You better.
Sounds cool. So for my honorable mentions, I have Honey Nut Cheerios. One thing ruined it for me. Kevin Garnett trash talking Carmelo Anthony in an NBA game and telling Carmelo Anthony his wife, Lala Vasquez, tasted like Honey Nut Cheerios. I don't know. Google it. Whoa. But yeah, supposedly, I don't know if it's true.
Holy shit.
What did Carmelo do? Just say, just stop it. Get him, Carmelo. God damn it.
Yeah.
Frosted Flakes, put a little banana in there. Tastes great, right? Raisin Bran. Anybody who can eat raisins by themselves, I don't understand. But put them in flakes with milk. Now you've got my attention. Honeycombs is the only cereal that's the size of a silver dollar. Those things are gigantic. Lucky Charms. I wonder if this mascot offends Ireland. Are they more embarrassed by Lucky or Bono? Ireland, let us know. We know we got some listeners in Ireland. Let us know. Honey Smacks, great cereal. Terrible mascot. A frog? Yes. Let's use an animal that eats insects to sell our brand.
The cereal did look like insects, though.
It did, yes. Tasted like them, too. Fruit Loops, there are no distinguishable fruit flavors in Fruit Loops. All the colors are the same flavor, but they're still great. Corn Pops. Back in the 80s and early 90s, there was a Corn Pops campaign where kids would just generally act stupid and do shitty things towards adults just because they got to have their pops, but we loved it, right? And then lastly, I have Peanut Butter Crunch. Remember when somebody counted the stripes on Captain Crunch's uniform and claimed he was merely an admiral, not a captain? What a fucking liar.
I know. But also at the same time, what fucking asshole is really counting a cartoon stripes? God damn it. Get a life, bro.
Stolen valor. Okay, so let's go ahead and go on with our selections. Joseph, what do you got for us?
All right. It's no big secret that the greatest cereal is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, known as Croquet Cannelle in French Canada and Curiously Cinnamon in the UK, is the premier product of
Is there
General
a question
Mills
mark
cereal.
on the box? Curiously Cinnamon?
That's what it's called. Curiously Cinnamon.
That's awesome.
I think I gave her a few dollars back in the day.
It's the premier product of General Mills. It's made with real cinnamon. It's basically French toast in miniature form. It's got a great taste. If you say you don't like it, you're a liar. It might not be your favorite, but you can't deny its great taste. Texture wise, it's good to eat on its own. It's like eating little cinnamon cookies. I never actually recommend you drowning your cereal in milk, but if you did, I think you'd be all right for a decent amount of time. The crunch in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch holds nicely. Plenty of time to enjoy. Not to mention making your leftover milk, or as it's known in the biz as Cinnamilk, one of the most delicious flavors of milk you can get from residual breakfast cereal milk. I mean, this shit's good. It might be the best part of actually having Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I mentioned it was good enough to eat on its own. It's very versatile. It's a great snack for your kids or yourself. It can be mixed into a variety of other snack products to give you, a sweet factor to, your sweet and salty trail mix bullshit. People like to do that. That's cool. Really good for the kids. I know experience with friends with kids, you got little bags of different things, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch could be one of those things. It's great. Also in baking, the cereal itself can be crumbled into a great topping to use on pastries, dishes, pie crusts, really any other topping for your baked good needs. It's just, again, it's really good. It lasts a long time. It tastes good, made with real cinnamon. Like, again, the milk is delicious. We all love cinnamon. Your favorite coffee beverage, a little bit of cinnamon in it if you're feeling adventurous. Your favorite cakes and pies, a little bit of cinnamon if you're looking for if you're looking to spruce up some of your holiday treats. Your favorite stripper club, a little bit of your girl cinnamon if you're feeling a little bit lonely. And again, it's the best cereal, man. It's the best cereal in my book. I think it's delicious, holds up, definitely ranked. I was looking at some lists and whatnot, and this one's up there. Came out in at least the top 8 in 3 different 3 out of 4 of the lists that I read. It's just definitely up there. Boom.
So Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Joe. So you know what, man? I'm ashamed of you, sir, that you didn't even mention this. Talk so highly about Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but you didn't mention how it was stolen from the Mexican fucking people, Josie, from the valley. The cereals, you know that it's a damn churro, or they stole it from a damn churro, Buñuelo. That's what it is. And they didn't even have the audacity to say Cinnamon Toast Crunch. They could have named it Cinnamon, added EH before Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Would have been perfect. It would have been an homage to the Mexican people. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's what your grandma called it when she served it.
You want Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Yeah, dude. That's all it is. It's a damn Buñuelo. It's a damn churro. They stole it from it's a Mexican treat that they stole from, or they borrowed from, and they made
it's French toast.
And it's not French toast. No, we're gonna get to that in just a second, though. Because Cinnamon Toast is amazing, but they do have a counterpart made by General Mills, and it's called French Toast Crunch. And I will dare to say, Joseph, that it is a better version of cereal than Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And that might be going against my people saying that French toast is better than a Cinnamon Buñuelo. But French Toast Crunch, extremely underrated cereal. It's hard to find. If you find it, you buy it, you eat it, and you compare it, and you'll be like, that's not too fucking bad. I know my Canadian friends would love it because it's got a little hint of maple in it. It's delicious. It's great. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yeah, man. It's definitely been a go-to since we were kids. I have to say that it's one of my favorite cereals of all time. I do disagree, though, about the milk thing. I can get the same shit. I can just dump some cinnamon in a glass of milk and chug it down. We used to make that with a banana and a raw egg and cinnamon. Remember that? A little bit of vanilla, and you shake it up and you drink it. Same shit, okay? Adding cinnamon.
Platanada, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. See, Randy can speak Spanish, too. So I do disagree about the milk thing. I think there's a couple other cereals that rival it. They give it like a fruitier flavor. Cocoa Pebbles definitely gives it that best chocolate milk style of milk flavor at the end of the cereal. I do have to ask you this though, Joseph, because Cinnamon Toast Crunch, great cereal. You did mention you're like, for those of you that like to drown your cereal, you don't drown your cereal in milk?
No, you gotta have a nice balance.
No. You don't have a nice balance. This is why you put more milk than cereal. This is why. So when you finish the cereal, you know what you could do? You add more fucking cereal to the milk that's left over, Joseph, and there you go. Twice as nice, a delicious treat, twice the calories, but who gives a shit? You still add more milk. You got to fill it in, okay?
If I'm super hungry, sure, I'll do that. But if, on the go, you get your nice balance. Don't underflow underfill.
You have
your
to
milk.
Have the ratio of
Even
milk
flow.
to cereal in the spoon has to have milk. You can't have a little droplet of milk and then that one last piece of cereal. Okay. All right, Randall.
All right. So this cinnamon flavored whole grain cereal sold 105.2 million boxes in 2021 latest stats and made 344.3 million in annual sales. First produced in 1984, so fairly recent. You know what else was introduced in 1984? Crack cocaine. I'll leave you to draw the parallels. It also caused 12 choking deaths by people drinking the milk afterwards. No, I just made that up.
You ever seen the cinnamon challenge? Eat a spoonful of cinnamon. You can't do it.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is like the Cowboys, the Yankees, the Lakers of popular cereal choices.
That was good in the 90s?
It's good in the 90s. Yes, it's universally regarded as the best cereal, and this might be heresy, but I think it's only okay. The cereal itself, sweet, spicy, and has a bit of salt to give it that complexity. It's as highbrow as you're going to get with cereal. I do enjoy a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but after I finish a bowl, I'm good for 2 or 3 months without it. Same can be said for me and sushi. A lot of discarded half-eaten boxes of Cinnamon Toast Crunch before I became a dad because I just could never finish a box. It's a sugar bomb cereal, so kids love it. They have come out with Churros Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Bob, you talked about that. And you guys have had the Churros Crunch, right?
No, I have not.
No, it's okay.
I've heard of it, but I have not.
It's the same cereal, just in a different fucking shape. Come on, people. We're fucking eyes.
We're Mexican American. What self-respecting Mexican American would eat this bullshit? We need weenies and egg tacos. It's what we grew up on. Not this fake Mexican snack covered in Cinnadust. Anyway, I miss the original bakers. They were cool. They had their own song. There were these animated bakers that came out in the commercials. They were a little creepy. The animation looked like something out of The Hobbit, but at least they had those mascots going for them. On March 22nd, 2021, American writer, rapper, and podcaster Jensen Karp found what appeared to be discarded shrimp tails in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. He tweeted about the incident. And went viral. Additionally, Karp found a piece of string, small black little pieces embedded on some pieces of cereal, and an object which looked like a pea. Don't tell me that was a secret prize inside. So General Mills then issued a statement on Twitter claiming that the tails were an accumulation of cinnamon sugar that sometimes can occur when ingredients aren't thoroughly blended. So as of March 2021, General Mills claimed they're investigating the case, but that contamination did not occur in their facility. So they think. Are we really going to go with a cereal that almost killed a fellow podcaster? I don't think so. I don't. In all seriousness, it's a top tier cereal. Bring back the bakers, give them prison tattoos and scars, do something different because we need to hype up the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But it's only okay. I like it. I just can't eat it all the time. I could eat it every once in a while. But I think, Joseph, this would be the most popular selection because I think it's genuinely liked by the public.
Most definitely.
Bob, let's go on with your selection.
Okay, man, I'm gonna throw a little wrench into the system. I went with the old man cereal, but you know what? This is extremely underrated, and I think that most of our audience that's above 37 will agree with my pick. I went with Honey Bunches of Oats. Now, Honey Bunches of Oats is that cereal where you're like, it's just Honey Bunches of Oats. And then before you know it, the fucking box is gone and it's only been, you just bought it for the kids for the week and you've already destroyed it over the weekend. It's a great cereal. When you mix Post Toasties, right? You know about Post Toasties.
Post Toasties, yes.
Post Toasties, that's the cereal that every grandparent had when you went over. I don't have anything with sugar, mijo, but we have Post Toasties and I could slice a banana and throw some in there. So think of Post Toasties and then you get, bunches of oats, a granola, and then you add a little honey flavor and boom. You got Honey Bunches of Oats, the best of both worlds, everything. You like oatmeal? Yeah, well, we got granola. You like honey? Cool, we got that. You like Post Toasties? Who doesn't love Post Toasties? The idea of Honey Bunches of Oats actually came out in 1986. One afternoon, this man, the guy came up with it, was his name was Herzing. Cool name, weird guy. Him and his daughter, they used to mix cereals around. They were trying to make this perfect formula, which I think is really, really cool. It reminds me of being a kid and you go to like the fountain drink area and you mix a bunch of different sodas to see what they taste like all mixed together. I think this is a cool little idea, a little thing that he did with his daughter. He mixed cereals around and tried to figure out what was the perfect mix of cereals. And of course, got those Post Toasties, baby. Got the Post Toasties, doing a little granola. And I don't know what it is about this cereal. I don't know if it's the texture. I don't know what exactly it is, but you eat it and it's amazing. And the Post Toasty flakes, the corn flakes may go a little soggy, but the granola is still crunchy, and you get that perfect mix of kind of soggy, mostly crunchy. At the beginning, it's all crunchy and amazing. The milk tastes great at the very end. It's one of those cereals where you can eat, like Joseph said, like trail mix. You can eat it just out of the bowl, out of the bag. You can pour it in milk. You can have it with almond milk if your stomach, whatever. You can have it with cold milk. You can have it at the end of the night. You can have it in the morning. It's one of those versatile cereals. Now, I know this one isn't as exciting as, let's say, a Lucky Charms, ooh, with the mascot, and ooh, with the different colored marshmallows and different flavors, magically delicious. Honey Bunches of Oats is like, yeah, we don't need a tagline. We don't need a mascot. Look, motherfucker, we know what you like. You're 40 years old? Yeah, you know you like granola. You know you like Post Toasties. Just give us a try. And once you do, you're automatically hooked, man. This is one of those cereals that I guarantee you, if you did a side-by-side, because everybody has this picture in their head of what they ate when they were kids and when they were teens, and they're like, oh, it has to be Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Lucky Charms. But let's put them side-by-side with all our picks. I want y'all to go out there and do that this weekend. Put all our picks side-by-side and eat them with a bowl of milk, and I guarantee you, Honey Bunches of Oats will come on top. What do you guys think?
So Honey Bunches of Oats sold 111.3 million boxes in 2021 and made 375.2 million in annual sales. A very underrated and popular cereal. And you're right, Bob. It was created by lifelong Post employee Vernon J. Herzing by mixing several of Post's cereals together and having him and his daughters I think I just copy pasted that and having his daughters taste them. And so Honey Bunches of Oats was introduced to the markets in 1989 after 3 years of development when they started mixing the cereals in 1986. The cereal is made up of 3 kinds of flakes and oat clusters baked with a hint of honey. So basically somebody went down the soda dispenser, like you said, Bob, and they mixed their drinks and said, guess what? New invention. It's like the guy who invented Diet Water or the DVD rewinder or the banana slicer. I mean, it's just, they just put stuff together. But unlike them, but you know, some of them had almonds, some of them have vanilla clusters. You know, you got yourself a nice cereal going on there because you got a mix of things. It's different textures, it's different crunches, different flavors. So if you like variety, this one's for you. This is sort of the cousin to Nut and Honey. Do you guys remember Nut and Honey? You guys remember the commercials were the best?
I never ate Nut and Honey. Yeah, I didn't really get it until I got older, but yeah.
The boss would ask his employee, what are you eating? And the guy would say, Nut and Honey. And the boss would say, what did you just call me, motherfucker? So a bowl of Honey Bunches of Oats and 2 cups of coffee. Bob, you better give yourself some time. You better not be running late for work because you're going to need to sit down for a minute.
Stay regular if you want to be happy, just like in The Shining.
Get yourself some reading material and take some deep breaths. Maybe hit your knees a little bit. There was this old SNL skit with Phil Hartman about a cereal called Colon Blow, about how it's a high fiber cereal. So check out Colon Blow. It sounds delicious. You know, YouTube the skit with Phil Hartman. It's a funny cereal skit. It's kind of like sort of mocking these kind of cereals, high in fiber cereals. No mascots, like you said, no fruit. I mean, where's the fun? It's got the personality of tofu. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that just like to eat white rice by itself too. So hey, some people like the bland stuff. I don't blame them. I was watching an old Honey Bunches of Oats commercial, and one of them had a young Brittany Murphy. So that reminded me of her. I thought it was kind of cool. I had never seen her in a commercial before. I think when we all knew her, she was on TV, she was in movies. So watching a young Brittany Murphy, it was kind of like a cool little trip down memory lane because I know she was an actress who we all loved. If you want to go with taste, go with Quaker Honey O's. It's a better version, and they are not as pretentious as this brand. It's not a bad cereal, but so many oat brand cereal alternatives are out there. Joseph, what do you think about this cereal?
I think this is a very great tasting cereal. As we've gotten older, this is probably one of the go-tos, especially for us adults. I think it's good for kids if you maybe don't tell them exactly what it is. I mean, then again, you make them eat it if you want, but they will definitely enjoy this. This is, what do you feel? Let me just ask you real quick, Bob. What about Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds?
I mean, I think like it just adds a little extra texture, like Rando said. Like I love the fact that there's so many different textures of Honey Bunches of Oats. It's not just the delicious flavor, it's the crunches, it's the different flakes. Like I love that fact. The almonds don't do anything different, especially if you're trying to be healthy-ish, you know what I mean? No cereal isn't healthy at all, no matter what the fuck they tell you. But yeah, I think it's amazing.
To be honest with you, and just to go back to real quick, what do you want to call them? The cornflakes, I guess. No, the flakes. The what they're made of. The flakes.
Cornflakes.
The cornflakes. It's basically
cornflakes.
Frosted flakes or whatever.
Post Toasties with honey.
And these are they flavored? Did they throw like some sweet on them?
They did some honey, right?
It's honey.
They're honey flavored. Yeah, that's perfect. That's fine. The combination of and never thought I'd say this. But as an adult, the granola, the granola clusters, the honey cornflakes, it just works. It works great. You know what? I honestly think it rivals the honey. It doesn't do too much with the milk, and I know I use that as a big factor in my decision for cinnamon toast crunch. It makes your milk taste great even after you're done.
For this one, I feel like it just complements it. It's so weird.
Yeah, you're right. It does.
Fucking Gordon Ramsay over here.
It's not as it doesn't flavor the milk as much, but it complements it really nice. It goes hand in hand greatly, and with the almonds, it's fine. I think this is a great cereal. For the reason for my choice is the difference being why I don't, as much as I love this fucking cereal, I will buy some. I will even buy, like, if I can't find this one in particular, because I've gone to the store and I can't find them. They're oats.
Because they're sold out, like, Joseph.
I have to buy the off-brand one or whatever, but we'll get to those in a little bit.
Those are good
later. No, they will. We'll talk about them. This is a great choice, but I think this is a choice mainly for, even though I think kids will enjoy it, and I don't know too many parents that give this cereal to their kids. Think they'll like it
because we save it for us.
I mean, the appeal with mine, at least till now, at least for these two, is mine. I think, but yeah, it's for both. It's for both the kids. Of course, the kids love it. It's sugary. As adults, I love it too. I think it's good. This one just more geared towards adults, or that's maybe the only thing that I think is lesser than mine. Although it is great tasting and delicious, and obviously, to say cereal is healthy for you is, it's a tightrope that you walk. But I mean, you can't deny it. It says it's.
You don't feel like such an asshole.
10 grams, 10 grams of whole grains per serving with 9 essential vitamins and minerals. I mean, that's pretty fucking good, and for it to taste as good as it does, definitely a top choice. I can see why. I can see a lot of our adult listeners obviously siding with Bob on this argument, but I think for the sake of the argument itself, I think mine is better just because it appeals to both children and adults
and stoners.
Yeah, and stoners. But great selection, by the way, and great cereal. I personally like it with the almonds myself. Think it's just a little bit exotic. More texture or a little more fill you up. I guess, a little more crunch. You get a little bit more in your meal, and you only need to eat one bowl. But Honey Bunches of Oats on its own is just fine too as well.
By the way, everybody, you're listening to the first podcast that has said the word cereal without saying the word killers after it. So welcome to Formidable Opponents. We have not, we got to play
cereals.
Cereals. So my selection to round it off is Post Fruity Pebbles. If you grew up in a Mexican,
say Post, man.
If you grew up in a Mexican household, we mentioned anything with Post was called Post Toasties. Your grandma gave it to you, and that's what she called it. Fruity Pebbles sold 54.1 million boxes in 2021. The cereal also made 172.3 million in sales on an annual basis. So, brilliant marketing campaign. Remember, The Flintstones was the first primetime animated series, and it aired from 1960 to 1966. So you immediately bring in familiarity. Maybe it didn't quite work for Urkel on the Urkel-O's, but it was on with The Flintstones. Fruity Pebbles weren't invented in concert with the Flintstones cartoon. They were a reintroduction of a low market share post-children's cereal brand called Sugar Rice Crinkles. That's a great name for a racehorse or an aging boxer. Not such a great name for a cereal. The product group manager at the time, Larry Weiss, licensed use for the Flintstones for cereal from Hanna-Barbera in an attempt to reinvigorate the children's cereal business for Post cereals. Prior to that time, character licensing had been used for promotion, but there had never been a brand created around a media character. So, this was breaking all sorts of doors down. The commercials were hilarious. Barney was always trying to get a bowl of Pebbles, and Fred rock blocked them. See what I did there? From having one delicious bowl of cereal. Barney would disguise himself as wrestlers, scientists, Santa Claus, rappers, Princess Pocahontas. He spared no sensitivity, and he would always try to steal a bowl of these delicious Fruity Pebbles. And there are so many variations: Cocoa Pebbles, Cinnacrunch Pebbles, Birthday Cake Pebbles, to name a few, but I'm sticking with the original. I'm sticking with the Fruity Pebbles. The original Fruity Pebbles are the source for such joy for not only our childhoods, but it's also delicious enough to enjoy now. The sweetness is not overwhelming. The crunch before the milk soggies it is fantastic. It's colorful. Yes, it's a short milk bowl life, but you can eat this without milk. It's confetti. It's a celebration, and I will caution to eat these as a treat. It's not an every morning breakfast, but a bowl on a Saturday morning when you're watching depressing stories on the morning news will take you back to those mornings where you're watching G.I. Joe, where you're watching Transformers. You get a huge bowl of Fruity Pebbles and you just, you enjoy your morning. They sustain the perfect equilibrium on your spoon. They balance great. You can put a bunch of them on there. They're so versatile too. You can put them in cereal bars, in ice cream, in milkshakes, in cookies, in donuts. You can have them in so many ways. They are the potatoes of the cereal verse. I do not eat them often, but when I treat myself, and yes, I love eating. I love eating Fruity Pebbles in a major way. I will eat a bowl, and I love them so much. And I think they have brilliant marketing. They taste great. And a lot of these childhood treats that are, fruit flavored or super sweet, they don't really have a lot of shelf life with adults. I still love them. I know a lot of people my age that do. What do you guys think of them?
I love Fruity Pebbles. This might be the greatest marketing job of all the cereals that have come out. Like you said, once they got the Flintstones in on the product, the name changed and it was like instantly recognizable on the shelf, and kids definitely wanted that. Fruity Pebbles are an amazing cereal. Though you can't have them dry. I know if you're talking about like somebody choking on a Cinnamon Toast Crunch, dude, I could. You know how many times that you've like laughed watching a cartoon or something, and one of those little bastard sharp motherfuckers gets you in the back of the throat and scrapes it all the way down. It's not Captain Crunch that scrapes your throat, folks. It is Fruity fucking Pebbles. Those things, they're Pebbles for a goddamn reason. They are dried out like a motherfucker. You know what the best Fruity Pebbles is? Soggy Fruity Pebbles, because they don't cut your ass as you're swallowing the shit. Jesus Christ. I don't know what it is about them. Like, I get it. It's supposed to be crunchy, but Jesus Christ. Rice Krispies, they're crunchy and they don't fucking scrape you. These are jagged little assholes that you got to be very careful for. If you're trying to just sneak a handful out in the middle of the night, it will get you. You will cough. You will wake everybody up in the house and they'll know that you're sneaking Fruity Pebbles in the middle of the night. Having said that, I really do love Fruity Pebbles. I love the flavor. The milk is great. The sogginess of it is amazing. I love them soggy. Cocoa Pebbles is the one I'd rather have, only because, like I said before, great chocolate flavor, and I'm not a big fan of chocolate cereal at all, but Cocoa Pebbles seem to have done it right. The milk at the end, the chocolate milk that's left over is fucking amazing. One of my favorites. So I do dig the cereal. It definitely was, Fruity Pebble, Flintstone vitamins and Fruity Pebbles growing up. It's one of the cereals that reminds me of my childhood. Watching cartoons on Saturday mornings and eating Fruity Pebbles. It was cool, man. It's great. I haven't had them in forever, and that's because my daughter's favorite breakfast cereal, Fruity Pebbles, and she just went through it. She killed a box, and she's the only one. Like my son's like, I'll eat. He eats like Honey Nut Cheerios, or he has like a Cookie Crisp, or he has Fruit Loops, or whatever the fuck he eats. But she'll get Fruity Pebbles, and she's like, I know this is the only one. I'm the only one eating this thing. It's a really good cereal, man. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I could eat it dry, because now that I'm older, that's just what I do. I like dry cereal now. It's a little too, like, you breathe in and you're screwed while you're eating it. But it's a great pick, great cereal, dude. It definitely reminds me of my childhood.
Before you answer, Joseph, Jagged Little Assholes is my favorite Alanis Morissette album. So go ahead, Joseph.
All right, I'll start this by saying, look, I do love this cereal. I think I've had great memories of eating this cereal in the morning. It's tasty. The old Flintstone ads are so iconic and memorable. You can go on YouTube. I was actually doing this right now while Randy was giving his thing. No offense, I was listening to you, I wanted the visual as well. Some hilarious commercials. The so awesome. This, like Bob said, the marketing campaign is fantastic. That being said, this is one of the best, not the best, but one of the best cereals that you can have in the morning for like 4 to 5 minutes. After that, if you depending on how big of a bowl you have, if you can finish all your Fruity Pebbles in 4 to 5 minutes, great. But if you get a fucking soup bowl full with your wooden spoon or whatever, after 5 minutes, you're fucked. I mean, once they turn into a little soggy I don't know
the best.
I like the soggy cereal.
No.
I
Yeah.
like soggy.
Yeah.
No, they are good. They are this this
Have you
is
ever
a
choked
good
on
cereal.
one?
No.
I have.
Well, okay. Well, hold on.
Scarred
maybe
me
I
for
have.
life.
I don't know why you asked that question that way, but go ahead, Justin.
This is a great cereal in the beginning. It tastes good. It doesn't taste great. I'm not saying it's the greatest fucking tasting cereal. It's not, certainly doesn't taste better than Honey Bunches of Oats, and it sure as hell doesn't taste better than Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It is good. It is a good cereal. It's good when you first pour it and you're eating, your first 5 to 10 spoonfuls, however many it takes you to. I don't know how big of a bowl you're putting, but when it's
big fucking bowl,
crunchy,
Jules.
when it's still got its crunch, there's not too much flavor. I honestly think that they all taste the same. I can't eat this dry. I do not like to eat it dry. I would not like it. I think when you
Scratches
eat
your
it,
throat.
yeah, there's a difference between having it sit in milk. You mentioned it, Randy. You did mention that it's a quick eat. You got to eat it quick because once it goes to that like soggy, almost papery texture. This is where I think it's most dangerous, aside from eating it dry, because you think to yourself, well, I can't fucking get it on the spoon because every time I try and reach into the milk, they all kind of just scatter because they're just little floating.
This is just bugs.
Yeah, little lily pads on the water or something like that. You decide, okay, well, I'm gonna just drink the fucking milk and the cereal included. You got to be careful, man. There's that little cereal sticks to the back of your throat, and
Yes.
and you're like, what the fuck? So you got to eat this quickly. If you eat this quickly, it's good. It's not, like I said, it's not the best tasting cereal, but it is very good.
Is it the best fruit-based cereal, like fruity cereal? Is it better than?
I would say so. I think
better
it's
than Trix.
Better than
Is it
Trix?
better-
Yeah. Oh, I'm not a Trix fan. No.
Okay. Well,
It depends on what kind of Trix.
it's definitely
Yes,
up there.
yes.
I think, you know what, actually,
Some Trix.
actually, you know what, I was.
Damn, you said that quickly. Yes,
it's
yeah.
better than Trix. It is better than Trix as far as like the fruit-based cereals. It's colorful. It's great for the kids. That's a positive in for your side, Randy, for your selection. It's good for both. I mean, mainly kids. We just heard it from Bob right now. His daughter loves it. That's great. It's something cool. And I don't know what the marketing side of it is now. I don't know if they still do the Flintstones.
I think it's like claymation now. It's not the old school animation.
Horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's horrible.
It's not.
But
It's not the
Why
same.
you do this
Yeah.
to me, Dimmy?
Why? Yeah. But it is I mean, it's a very popular choice. I understand it. It was very popular. I know when I was a kid, I would see those commercials, and it wasn't necessarily one that a cereal that was always bought when my parents were going shopping, but the times that we did get it, you were very happy to get it. You were very happy to actually be eating it. As an adult, I think I view it a little bit differently, but I will always love those Flintstone commercials. I think that's great. Good tasting cereal, not the best. You got to eat it quickly.
Let me ask you this. Who is the worst offender? Fred Flintstone for not sharing and being selfish about his cereal, or Barney Rubble for stealing and being a cheap bastard by not buying his own cereal? Who is worse?
I was gonna say P. Diddy, but that's a different conversation. Look at this in the news, folks. Fred Flintstone was obviously the asshole. I mean, God Almighty, he's the asshole. Barney's a cool dude. Barney had a hot wife too. Fred was the asshole. He was always in a bad mood. Barney just wanted to party. Okay, Barney's the man.
I think I even remember seeing like at one point they did do like during Christmas time, they did do like a sharing. Hey, it's Christmas. Here you go, Barn. Here's a bowl of fruity pebbles for you. So they but
Was it in the Christmas colors too, the red and the green.
Yes.
Don't they do that?
Christmas before Jesus was born, only on television. Yeah.
With the dinosaur.
Excellent. Guys, let's go on to our final questions. Do you have a favorite cereal memory?
The treats or the toys or whatever that used to be. I think it was sports cards, and I don't remember which cereal it was, but they used to wrap little individual like cards or whatever in plastic, and they throw them in. I'm sorry, I know I remember being excited about these cards, but I'm pretty sure they were sports cards. And I'm not sure what cereal it was. That was always fun. Those, and I guess you could say that with any cereal that used to do that when we were kids, that they would put like a treat or a toy or something at the bottom, some special thing. reaching down when you no, and your parents saying like, no, you have to wait till you get to the end.
Yes,
and
yes. But you put your whole hand in the box, like just sully it, and
Y'all are so dumb. Why didn't you flip it over before you open the bag? You flip it over, then you kind of put the box sideways, and you open the bag, and there you go, motherfucker.
We used to empty the bag in a huge bowl, my brother and I, so we could get the treat and then put the cereal back in the box.
Y'all didn't have the plastic containers that my mom used to buy because the cereal would go bad. Now it lasts you a year, fucker.
Now we do, but
from what is it? Remember Sarah Marshall?
Forgetting
Sarah Marshall.
I gotta have the freshest cereal.
What about you, Bob? Cereal memories.
I just remembered Saturday morning cartoons, man, and like you wake up before everybody else because your parents were partying the night before, or whatever the case is. You're the first one up. You go and sit in the living room, and we didn't have remotes back then. You had to actually hit the button on the goddamn TV, and it was this whole big box TV. So you'd sit on the floor with a bowl of cereal, and you'd watch cartoons on ABC or Nickelodeon, whatever the Saturday morning cartoons were at the time. Those memories really stick out to me. And I don't remember the cereal specifically, but I do remember sitting in front of that TV on Saturday mornings and eating cereal like on a consistent basis, like watching cartoons while everybody else is sleeping. It's kind of a cool memory to think about.
Watching X-Men 96. Now we can watch X-Men 97 on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, with a big bowl of cereal. I think. Go ahead, Joseph.
No, well, if you want to say, because I wanted to just get your all's opinion on the bag cereal, I guess, the Malt-O-Meal brand.
You mean the ones that are the ones that are at your ankles when you go to down the cereal?
Yeah. Yes, those.
Well, like, you don't get Cocoa Puffs. We have Cocoa Roos.
I don't think they do that anymore. I thought this was let me as somebody who's bought these Malt-O-Meal cereals, there's some of them that are just as good, exactly the same, and then there are some
harder.
I don't think that
they're crunchier.
There's some that don't compare to their name brand counterparts. I did like the marketing campaign that they used to do back in the days. They used to run this commercial about Malt-O-Meal cereals and how, like, they're down
everything
there
else in the bag
ankles. Yes, they used to tell you, it's like, well, yours are in a bag, and they'd say, well, yeah, well, so are theirs. They just put a box over them. So I thought it was great, and I think they have more flavors or different types of cereal than most of. I mean, because it's this one company doing both Post and General Mills. So I mean, you name a cereal and they have a counterpart. I have the list up in front of me. Some of them seem like
I'm reading some of these now.
What was the one you had mentioned? It was French Toast Crunch. They have Waffle Crunch cereal, which is the counter to Cinnamon Toasters.
Cinnamon Toasters, which is
Cinnamon
weird.
Toasters would be my
Waffles
Cinnamon
is just
Crunch.
honeycomb, isn't it? Oh no, or I don't know. Well, that's weird.
There's this one I'm looking at for tricks. It's called Pranks, and it's a raccoon with a mask running and chingas. like he stole the tricks.
Yeah, that's fucking funny, man. That's fucking funny.
Honey Nut Crispy Oats, yeah.
The one I remember is Cocoa Roos, and it reminds us of our high school spring break.
Yes, they still make Cocoa Roos.
We got pissed off at one of our friends because he invited some girl over, and in the morning, like, she had this big ass punch bowl full of our cereal, and like she fucking finished the cereal over the 2 days that she was there with us, and we got all pissed off at him, like, fucking ate all our Cocoa Roos, man. And then like a day later, like on a Wednesday, he found out he cheated on her, and he was crying and flipping out in the living room and losing his shit. I'm like, that's what she gets for eating all our cereal. God damn it. All of our Cocoa Roos.
Fruity Dino Bites would be the counterpart for Randall's selection.
Fruity Pebbles, yeah.
Yeah, the Dino Bites.
I would love to hear from the listeners on the Malt-O-Meal brand. I would actually love to set up I would do this with your kids, Bob. They love to do what is it, the taste, or they love to do
they like to do like taste offs. They've done like, what's the best chicken nugget? What's the best Doritos chip flavor? What's the best Pringles flavor?
I would love to try this with them. We can get like some Fruity Pebbles and Fruity Dino Bites or whatever, and just.
Why do you want the kids to scratch their throats, Joseph? Jesus Christ.
Honey Graham Toaster cereal. That might be what. I don't know.
It's a mouthful.
They have a bunch. Anyway, I'm sorry. I would love to hear our listeners' opinions on the Malt-O-Meals.
I will say this, guys. When you were a kid and you couldn't cook, cereal was always there for you. It was fun to eat. It matched perfectly with your TV viewing. And my memory is just sitting down and remember back in the 80s, our television looked like a piece of furniture where they sell those brown TV sets that try to blend in.
It was a bad box, yeah.
So I just remember eating a bowl full of Fruity Pebbles, watching these poorly animated cartoons and just having a blast. Those are some of the best times of my life. That was amazing. But yeah, cereal are still cereals are still significant in our lives. We love them.
Never going to go out of style.
Never going to go out of style. Always there for us. Always ultra dependable. Great episode, guys. Lastly, any recommendations? We have about 5 minutes.
Oh, speaking of cereal, a show called Loudermilk just came out. It's on Netflix. It was originally on AT&T Network before it got canceled, and they brought the first 3 shows in. If you liked The Office, Office Space, I'm sorry, the lead character actor, he's actually the lead in this show. It's extremely funny, extremely heartfelt. The writing on this is fucking epic. I didn't think I could like a show this much. We've binge watched it on Netflix, man. Rand, I actually think you'd really like it. Like,
cool.
The comedy is really well. I mean, it's really good, really funny, from like raunchy comedy to like really smart and witty comedy, and then you have like these heartfelt and fucked up conversations because the guy he's a counselor for addicts and former addicts and alcoholics. And there's a lot of funny. He runs like counseling sessions. There's a lot of funny scenarios and fucked up scenarios and shit like that he goes through. And it's a really good show, man. That's all I could say. Loudermilk on Netflix.
I recently saw 2 movies. I saw, if you're into just action, straight up action movies, I ended up seeing The Beekeeper. I was able to check that out here at home. Jason Statham movie. If you don't know about it, it's it's just straight up action.
He likes bees and throwing kicks.
I like bees. I like kicking ass.
I'm the beekeeper. Take care of bees. He says that a lot in the movie.
Both of you sound like you're in the Rolling Stones.
Like dialogue wise, it's nothing special.
Well, the transporter wasn't special either for dialogue.
But hey, if you're just looking for a great little action movie for nothing, I'd suggest checking it out. It was good. And recently, The Late Night with the Devil. I thought it was a great movie.
I want to see that. I want to watch that.
Creepy, old school.
It had a creepy old school vibe. Reminded me very much of like not having to do too much as far as like giving scaring people. I would say jump scares are a minimum, but still very just, and the way these I can't remember his name. I want to give him credit. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. If you see him, you know who he is. You've seen him in all kinds of things. I'm not sure if this is his first starring role, but his performance was awesome. He's probably one of the only, I'd have to look at everybody else because it does take place in the 70s, so everybody's kind of dressed for the occasion, for the hairdos and whatnot. I'd have to see the rest of the cast, but as far as like named big name actors, I think you'll find few that you recognize, but these people did an awesome job. It's one of these IFC studio films, Shudder, whatnot. Shudder Horrors is a channel that or
Betamax Shudder Horrors
channel that specializes in horror movies. And anyway, I'm sorry, I know I'm taking a little bit of time. This great movie. I thought it was great. I loved it. Go check it out if you get a chance. I hear it's only in like selected theaters. It's not in a lot of theaters throughout the country, but if you get a chance to see it, go for it.
Let's give him proper credit. His name is David Dastmalchian, and he's one of those that guy actors that you've seen. Yeah. And I've heard nothing but good things about it. It's got a lot of praise from like Kevin Smith, Stephen King.
Stephen King gave it high praise.
Yeah, so he says he couldn't keep his eyes off it. So if that guy gives you the stamp of approval.
He's polka dot in the new Suicide Squad movie. I mean, things like that. He was in Oppenheimer as well. He's in Dune Part. I mean, he's got a huge
perfectly
career.
Cast.
Ant-Man. He's in Ant-Man. He's one of the I know if you don't know Ant-Man, he has a massive credit as far as his acting roles. But yeah, this is I think his first.
And he's got such a 1970s face. I don't know how to describe, but he looks like he's from the 1970s. As for me, just a couple of quick things. I haven't watched the remake of Roadhouse.
I will. I think I will. Maybe Easter break.
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
what
I
I hear,
watched-
it's kind of crappy. But I also hear that Conor McGregor actually did pretty decent as playing an asshole jerk in Fighter. Who would have thought?
yeah, what a stretch. Yeah.
I know. But yeah, I definitely think I want to check it out. I'm a big fan of Jake Gyllenhaal.
I watched the original, quick, fun 90 minutes. It still holds up. This one's like 2 hours and 10 minutes or something crazy. I'm like, I don't think they need that much time for an action film, but I do want to check it out. I did watch Ricky Stenicki. Have you guys watched Ricky Stenicki?
No, but I want to watch that.
Pretty
one.
funny.
Okay, I started watching this. I got to the point where they hire him to do what they want him to, what they're asking him to do, and that's where I had to cut it because I think I had to leave or something. So I do need to finish it, but yeah, I was laughing the entire time up until that point, and I'm sure it's just as funny. The whole karaoke scene was...
The karaoke scene was great. It was, amazing.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
So,
it's worth the movie. The second hour kind of trails off a little bit. It gets a little more serious, but the first hour is classic comedy. I thought it was great.
I recommend it. And only from the part I've seen, Bob, I recommend it. Props to John Cena. Like, wow.
He's incredibly funny. He's
funny.
Talented. Yeah.
He's very funny.
He's funny. I do want to watch The Beekeeper as well. I'm sure if Jason Statham was on here, why didn't you all choose Honey Nut Cheerios with a bee? Because I'm the beekeeper.
You're going.
Are you sure you don't play the guitar for Rolling Stones?
You're going into like Keith Richards.
Yes, it's Keith Richards. Exactly.
You gotta keep it a little more low. Like, unless you gotta go do something. Anyway, let's get the fuck out of here.
What the fuck?
Let's end it with that. No more impressions. That's our show, everyone. Listeners, we'd love to hear from you. Hit us up and let us know what you think the best breakfast cereal is. Most importantly, let us know what you think about the show. You may reach us at formidableopponents@gmail.com and follow us on all forms of social media by searching for Formidable Opponents. We want to thank Creative Little Pill for her great and hilarious artwork. Please follow her on Instagram at Creative Little Pill. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on any podcast platform you're listening to us on. And join us next episode. This has been a very requested one, a very much requested episode. We'll be back with Best Creed Song. So
Hold me now, yes.
So for Bob and Joseph, this is Randall. We'll see you all next week.
They're always after me, Lucky Charms.
I was gonna say Formidable Opponents. They're assholes.